All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and we're going to talk about some needs that the Vikings still have. They filled a bunch in free agency. They did a kick-ass job, but there's still some needs that need to be squashed. Before we get into that, hit that sub. If you're watching, you're not subbed. We're trying to get 15,000 subs before draft day, so do us a favor, hit that sub. Let's talk some needs. What do you think?
Yeah, and we're in the second wave of free agency. Let's not kid ourselves. The first wave is the legal tampering period, and now we're kind of getting that second wave where we're starting to see some more depth pieces added, and Vikings have been doing that. But let's start at the top of that list. Left guard. Are we sticking with Blake Brandel, or are we going to upgrade this thing?
Well, I mean, you and I have different takes on this one. Where, like, I think we are going to stick with Blake Brandel, and the fact that we added a new center, Will Fries, Darisaw coming back, I'm a little better with it. I want a new left guard, but I think I think when it comes to offensive line, it's going to be more like depth pieces, and I think we're stuck with Blake Brandel again.
I just don't know why. Why not? Why not just finish the whole thing? Why not complete it?
They're letting Tevin Jenkins is visiting Seattle. I mean, like they're not making an effort, so that's why I think why I don't know.
I mean, there's still guys out there. You mentioned Tevin Jenkins, Mekhi Beckman still hasn't signed. Brandon Scherf's still out there, so there's still options you can look at. There's also the draft as well. I'd still be very shocked if we go into 2025's opening day, week 1, and Blake Brandel is our left guard. I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, and the draft is definitely maybe something they look at, whether it's a Booker or a Gray Zabel. Like if one of those guys are there and they're like, hot damn, we got this guy at like the 10th best player. Boom, Blake Brandel, depth. But regardless, it's still a need, even if it's somebody back up. I mean, Henry Bird's the backup right now, and Blake Brandel, and whether or not Rouse is moving in or Juergens, but it's still a need, even if it's starter or depth.
And that's an interesting name, Walter Rouse. I mean, they mentioned that they're pretty high on him. Like there was a report that came out a week and a half ago about guys who Vikings have Green Arrow stock up, and Walter Rouse was one, and I believe it was actually at guard. So maybe that's the plan. Walter Rouse, Blake Brandel, battle it out for left guard.
Battle it out. Get some competition. That's all I ask for. Just don't hand them the job. Let's go to wide receiver 3. As of now, at 6:07 p.m. on Friday, Rondale Moore is not signed. So if you're watching this and he signed, is what it is. But wide receiver 3 is definitely a big old need. And it looks like they're trying to squash. Cooper Kupp is a Seahawk, by the way.
He's a Seahawk. He signed, so he's out. He's out of the picture. Yeah, Rondale Moore, and I don't know if he is signed. Is he automatically wide receiver 3? Is there going to be more competition brought in? And we have Brandon Powell last year. We had Trent Sherfield, Jalen Naylor. So even if it's Rondale Moore, Jalen Naylor, you should still have another guy competing. Will it be a rookie? Will it be another wide receiver? I don't know, but I'd be pretty damn happy with Rondale Moore. I got to be honest.
Yeah, Rondale Moore, before he had his injury last training camp, he was out there with the Falcons ones. I mean, dude's 4.29, 40 speed. He can do it all. I would love it. I mean, if you want to put somebody in competition with him, Jalen Naylor, go compete for number 3. Moore, you're going to get it. So hopefully we sign Rondale Moore and this is squashed. But he would be a great number 3. He's an upgrade from Brandon Powell. He can return punts, gets the ball in his hands. Wham, bam. Oh,
let me ask you this, though. How would you feel about him being wide receiver 2 for a couple of weeks?
I'd be fine with that. I mean, the thing is, he came into the Cardinals in round 2, and they're like, dude, go be our number 1 wide receiver. I mean, that's tough. That's tough. So to come into a situation for the Vikings and be like, hey, be the number 3, reset your market, go get paid next year or something. This is a great chance. So to be number 2 with Jefferson, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I like it too. What's the inside linebacker doing on here? We just got Eric Wilson back.
Inside linebacker, our depth right now is Cashman, Pace, Eric Wilson, and Brian Asamoah. But it's still a need. Is it a need?
Yeah, I don't have any faith Brian Asamoah can add anything to this lineup. And then, I mean, really, like we said, like Eric Wilson's kind of just Ivan Pace. Like he can't cover. He can get after the quarterback, and that's what he does. So you got 2 similar kind of players. I'd like to see a cover linebacker added at some point.
Yeah, I mean, Eric Wilson started, I think, 12 games for the Packers last year. Started some games the year before, and actually played really good with the Packers. I'm curious to see how the Ivan Pace, Eric Wilson thing shakes out as far as who actually gets that job. I mean, Eric Wilson, he's a pretty damn good linebacker, but it's still a need. It is still a need. We need somebody who can cover somebody. Neither of these guys can. And Asamoah, I still don't think he's going to be on this roster week 1, and we need depth. We need depth bad.
And Wilson's a great special teamer too. Let's not forget that. I mean, his coverage grades weren't great from PFF, but his punt return, his punt cover grade, not punt return, but
He
his punt
returns
coverage
punts.
grade. His punt coverage grade was like in the
More.
90s. Excellent special teamer.
Yeah, I was happy to see that, but they still got some work to do. Speaking of work to do, backup freaking quarterback, because as of now, it's Brett Rippon.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what the Vikings are waiting for. Is Aaron Rodgers things will not die. Are they waiting for Kirk Cousins? That's been also rumored out there. Maybe waiting for Kirk Cousins to get released from Atlanta, bring him back to be J.J. McCarthy's mentor. Carson Wentz is still out there. But the options are kind of getting a little bit thinned out here. We're seeing a lot of quarterbacks sign, and everybody's just wondering, what are we waiting for here?
Yeah, I honestly think this Kirk Cousins thing has some legitimacy.
Some balls?
They're waiting for something. I don't think it's Rodgers. If they're waiting for something, I would assume it's more on the Kirk Cousins thing. We'll see. I mean, as long as Carson Wentz is, I know all these guys are getting signed, but at least all these guys are getting signed, except for Minshew. That one hurt a little bit. Yeah. These guys, I don't give a crap about these guys getting signed. I don't care about the Allens and who else got signed. Somebody got signed. Mason Rudolph, Mac Jones is. So until Wentz is gone, we'll see. So they got something cooking, but they got to get this figured out because it ain't gonna be Brett Rippon.
No, and it shouldn't be. It should
Sometimes
be
when I drink a lot of beer, I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm ripping
tootskis,
probably for hours. I don't know.
The last one, so tight end depth, tight end 3. What will the Vikings do there? There's really not a lot of sexy options out there. It's kind of gross.
Yeah, I mean, I just keep leaning towards it's going to be some sort of pass catcher. Like when it comes to tight end 3, it's kind of like I think the Rondale Moore mold, where it's like a guy that is 24, 25, hasn't really panned out, a pass catching dude that they just bring in. I don't see them doing a draft pick on a tight end. I don't think this tight end class is very good when it comes to the draft. But we'll see. But they got to do something. Johnny Munt's gone. We got to deal with it.
He's gonzo, and there's really no one else on the roster that you can even, like, an undrafted guy.
Ian Thomas, is he still available?
Ian
Thomas or Tyler Conklin?
Conklin would be nice. Thomas, I don't think has played since 2015.
Oh my God! I think he was in high school in 2015. But yeah, tight end 3. We love our tight ends. Usually we got like 7 of them on the roster. Yeah. We only have 2 right now.
It's weird. Again, will be the draft, will be a free agent, but that's something that could happen, even wave 3 of free agency.
There you have it. Those are some of the biggest needs, and there's more needs. I mean, I'd love to still add another corner, maybe add a safety into the mix, maybe add another, I don't know,
fullback.
Jinx. We did it. We did it. That was weird. Yeah. So we'll see. Free agency is still, it's still a wee young pup. All the big names are getting signed, but there's still a lot of work to do.
Yep. All right, guys. Let us know in the comments what remaining needs you want to see addressed by your Minnesota Vikings. And also remember this: the Lions roar can be heard from 5 miles away.